Okay, this is your inspirational wake-up call, and you are inside the house with Professor Shire. And we are coming to you from the Caribbean, to be exact, from downtown Port of Spain in Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to episode 37. Do you know that success is a great revenge? Oh yeah. A big shout out to my global friends and family. Today we'll be looking at the process of revenge and its outcome. So please stay with me. So I've looked at the definition for revenge, and it speaks to, as a noun, the action of hurting or harming someone in return for an injury or wrong suffered at their hands. The desire to repair an injury or wrong. In sporting context, the defeat of a person or team by whom one was beaten in a previous encounter. So I've asked an elderly gentleman if he ever had revengeful thoughts, and he responded many times. And I then asked him how he dealt with it. He said it took him about 6 to 10 years to conquer this behavior, and he was ably assisted by God's help, especially when he surrendered it, or what we know as let go and let God. Today, I'm extremely humbled by this response, as it also suggests that we would have harbored this ill will at some time in our lives to inflict revenge on behalf of someone else, inflict retribution for a wrong or injury done to oneself or another. This also seems to cross over into generations. You know, in episode 35 and 36, where I spoke about forgiveness and reminded you of episode 9, where I spoke about anger, and episode 13, where I dealt with attachment, the two elements that resides and occupies our thoughts and become cancerous. However, wanting to look at revenge as a motivating factor, allow me to share a true story with you. A friend I will call Harry and myself, we both were part of an orchestra that would normally take part in annual festivals. We had to practice for long hours, to be exact, sometimes 3 to 4 months leading up to the preliminary date. It used to be very tough and taxing on the physical body, especially at nights, and sometimes for long hours, taking us into the morning period. However, there was never a guarantee that you will be selected to perform, especially if you weren't proficient on your instrument after spending those long hours. Well, the time had reached for selection, and that night my friend Harry was not selected. He was outraged by the fact that he was not, and made a promise to himself that he will become better than the person who had dealt him such wrong. Well, many years had passed, and we both went our separate ways. Harry did not pursue his career as a musician, but instead he became a medical doctor and is helping save lives, especially these days in this pandemic. You know, the music industry has suffered a great loss in the physical space and is trying to find new ways to be relevant in these times, while the need for medical services has increased tremendously. When I look back at this story, I tend to wonder if my friend Harry was given the opportunity to perform at that festival, what his life would have been like today. Before I go, let me leave you with this. Things happen to us in this life should not be taken personally, and remember, it's happening for us to develop in whatever way seems necessary by God. Until next time, let us keep loving our hearts. Let us hold each other's hands to make it through these times. This was your inspirational wake-up call with Professor Shire. Love you all.